Morning, guys. Start in 2 minutes. Good morning. Good morning, Anna. What's up, YouTube? Guys, I'm broadcasting both on Instagram and YouTube. You can follow me on YouTube at Student Alpha. If you want a horizontal screen, let me adjust this. There we go. If you want a horizontal screen, you can follow me there. Also, I have exclusive content on YouTube. We'll start in a minute. If you have questions or tickers, throw them in the chat. Sydney, Australia. You're on the bottom side of the planet. Welcome from Sydney. Good morning, guys. There's my YouTube people showing up. All right, guys, we'll start in about 45 seconds here. Let these people populate in. We'll get into the report, look at the key levels, look at our trade ideas, answer your questions, answer your tickers, if you put them down in the chat. All right, let's get started, guys. Good morning. Happy Thursday, the 5th of February. We're going to get into the report. If you're new here, questions, stickers, throw them down in the comment box, wherever it is, and we'll get going. Day-to-day, 830 initial jobless claims were terrible. So much more layoffs than anticipated and a lot less hires. You can kiss the indices goodbye today. We're going to be shorting the indices. I'll talk about that in my war room. Plus, Japan announced last night at about 7 p.m. our time that they're going to be selling U.S. assets to save their yen. So they're going to be selling a lot of their holdings. So there's going to be a sell-off in the market. Should be. We'll be on top of it. Anyway, ES, this is the S&P 500. When you come to my war room, I have all the key levels marked. Open price 69.15, high a day 69.35, low a day 68.56. Resistance at high a day and 69.60. Support at low a day and 67.85. The bias short below that white line. Guys, we're hunting shorts below that white line. What I want to see, and unfortunately, I think it might be momentum off the bell. But in an ideal world, I want to see that VWAP touch and rejection into our read. The current short level is 72 for taking a short. So climb above. We're going to look to short that down. I will walk you into my trade as I do it in the war room. Let's get to the Russell 2000. The small cap stocks. RTY M2K. Open price 26.35, high day 26.48, low a day 26.14. Resistance at high a day in 26.70. Support at low a day in 25.50. The bias is short below that white line. Same thing, looking for that VWAP set up back down. You can see we have price support down here, so if we can hit that trade, this, actually I know Instagram you can't see it, but that level is yesterday's low, 2,600. So short this back down to there. Makes it for a pretty easy, simple setup. And of course, we'll watch our proprietary matrix indicator that calls momentum. That indicator alone will make you a lot of money. Back tested, proven that it increases your win rate by 20% and lets you, most importantly, allows you to understand when to let your winners run. All right, so NQ, the NASDAQ, just got punished all day yesterday. Never flipped bias. So as you can see here, we went short bias yesterday pre-market, and it's never let go. The other ones rebounded slightly. The NASDAQ did not. Matter of fact, the NAMO oscillator is deep. It's starting to deepen. We'll talk about that in a second. But Open price 25,065. High day 25,175. Low day 24,707. So there's your low day. We want to know where that's at. We swept yesterday's low. This is not a good look for this. So you can see that price resistance on Instagram, you can't see that far left, is resistance and support right here. But again, I want to see that VWAP test and drop back down, or I'll take this short if it occurs right here at about 24,835. If you have questions or tickers, guys, throw them in the comment box. I'll get to them in a second. I try to get through my report faster to have more time to answer your questions. But listen, if I don't get to your question, click the link in my bio, go to my free Discord, tag me there. I'll answer your question. And if you want to see a chart, I can make you a chart. All right, gold for XAU, so the underlying subtract 21. Open price 49.85. High day 50.49. Low day 48.05. So a resistance at 49.62 first. This swing high level before we go back up to high day. So at VWAP resistance, we have that swing high resistance. We're short below 49.26. So right now, this area is resistance. Right, downside support. I've got my box in play. We're going to keep the 5,000 box, and we need to change that color to red because now it's resistance. But we have price resistance right here. We'll talk about it. Technically speaking, we are short traders in gold, so we'll look for that same VWAP test and drop. But if the indices drop, metals should rise. That is our normal relationship. But with a lot of manipulation going on, it may not happen. We're going to be agile today. I like a 4,800 buy, and I like a VWAP sell. I'll be walking my traders through this. Guys, we've been infallible on these calls in the war room. Silver. Let's get to silver. Actually, I don't even have it up here. Let me. We don't trade it in a war room, but I know people want to see it. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. All right. So the bias flip on this one is 80.36. So you're short below 80.36. But I want to show you something here. I'm not even going to really talk about. This has a lot of strong potential downwards. Look at this. This, guys, is a bearish half mast formation. Gold did not form this. Gold broke that half mast. So gold's showing a little more strength, but I want to show you something. Look at this measurement. So that's the first leg of the mast, or pull. There's the second leg. This is what it measures to. $40. I'm just going to sit here and let that sink in for a second. It measures to $40. It's one of the most accurate technical analysis tools you can use, albeit I'm measuring it on a 4-hour. It was back tested and researched in the book on the 14-day period, but the same. If we take out this low at $70, we're going to teleport down. Write it down. I said it here. Stay out of its way. There are no current buys. If you're daring and you want to buy 70 to 71 with a tight stop loss, just to see if it holds, because that has to hold. That level, this blue line, has to hold in order for it to return. But this is a quintessential textbook bear flag. And if you watched my reel yesterday on manipulation by JP Morgan Chase, they have much more silver than you have, and they're pressing this price down. Stay out of the fucking way. You've been warned. Don't message me and go, should I buy now? Should I buy now? Should I buy now? Should I buy now? No. Stay out of the fucking way. Buy physical silver. If I had $1 for every person that's begged me for a silver call, I'd just retire. Yeah, blown candy. Good luck with that. If this level breaks, shortable on leverage, tight stop loss. All right, guys, platinum. Yeah, Lucas Cooper, watch my reel yesterday. I explain it. Institutions are trying to save their own asses. Guys, it's not conjecture. It's not conjecture. Watch the video. I have the receipts. I explain it. It's not like, oh, you're salty because your price is going down. No. I'm spitting facts. The NYMO also platinum. Let me get over to platinum. What is this? This should be XAU. Forget what chart I was on. No, that should be gold. All right, platinum, guys. It's nearing a swing level here. I'm not going to talk about the intraday levels. So 2,000 is a swing level, right? So if you have this box right here, I'm going to build it for you. This is your freebie trade, all right? I'm going to show you how to do this. You would do this, probably most of you guys would do this on the underlying. This is the futures product. You can do the same thing on the underlying, XPT. Okay, and this box should be about 2015 at the top and about 1985 on the bottom. If I can put my math in right. Questions, tickers, guys, throw them in the comment box. That's your buy box. That means you pick a number you like. There's a specific way you do it, but you can pick a number. If you want to know the specific way, join my group. You pick a number. You put your stop loss on the other side of that, whatever comfortable buffer just below that is, and you run this up 100 points or higher. There you go. That's how I'd mean revert this. There's some other signals in there that's giving, but pick a price. But for God's sake, put a fucking stop loss in. Some of you guys don't trade with stop losses or not smart. All right, the NYMO and NAMO oscillators, guys, are +3. So the NYMO, the New York Stock Exchange, is barely positive because what happened is the Russell and the S&P recovered yesterday, but NASDAQ did not. The NAMO, which is the NASDAQ McClellan oscillator, is -30. I'll start talking about them a lot when we get to -60 because we expect reversal. And VIX is now in selling at 21. Anything above 20 is selling. Anything above 30 is panicking. Right? If we get a hard drop today in the indices, we could see 30 with Japan selling assets. So we'll see. And as far as Bitcoin's concerned, bye-bye. I'll talk about that in a second. All right. I'm about to get to your questions, guys. So Google's at 320. I'm interested at 300. BBAI. These mother hubbards. Let me show you something. I'm going to show you what happened in this damn trade. Remember my area of interest here? My buy position was 552. I did trigger in at this gold line at 470 in my last allocation. I have my stop loss at 399. Which will probably trigger today. I'm going to eat this loss. But what happened right here? These guys announced a $125 million convertible note dilution event. It dilutes current shareholders like me by almost 9%. You hate dilution if you own the stock, because now the supply has increased. That's going to suppress price, and it's going to slow upward movement. Can't recommend this one anymore. And for the guys that followed my call on this, I'll take the loss too. But listen, you do not know that a dilution event's going to happen unless you sit on the board and it's insider trading. You don't know. So to me, dilution events is them. What that means is they're burning cash, they're struggling, and you're just going to watch this thing drift downward. So maybe in a year from now it's viable, but this one's not looking good for these guys. UUU is really close, guys. Keep an eye on that. I'm not going to bring it up. Go watch my video. Anyway, it's at 2056. My area of interest is 1950 to 2150. Bitcoin 69.3 and Ethereum 2000, and down it goes. For you guys that bought ETH and are still holding it, buy Ethereum when it gets down to $1,200, $1,500. Head your position back up. Ethereum will bounce. I think Bitcoin's done. My personal opinion. I think it was a psyop by the government, ran through the whole Epstein thing, and yep, I think it's done. I don't like the product. I've never liked the product. I've never bought it. Yep. Japan was selling a lot of American assets to save their yen. All right, let's get to your questions. I got a few minutes. Check you out here, YouTube. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you could short silver, but you only short that last when you breach that previous low. When that when 71.50 is breached, and then you put a tight stop loss on the other side. So probably what will happen, because that green line is the key level, right? Right around it, like real close. If we breach, retest, and drop, that's your entry, Elias. We'll talk about it in the war room. You're one of my VIPs. You're worth talking to. Guys, if you don't join my VIP this week and you decide to join next week, you're going to pay more. We want high quality traders willing to put their money into their education. No, I've never bought Bitcoin. I've been in crypto since 2017, and I've never liked the product. Why would I buy a Model T when I can buy a Lamborghini as far as the technology is concerned? So many other products do the technology better. All right, Instagram, let's see what you got here. Oh, scroll through, see if I see any tickers. I have a hard stop here in a few minutes, guys, where I'm going to go trade with my VIPs. Tomorrow we have free Friday War Room. We'll get those links out. And no, we don't do it every Friday. We're doing it some Fridays, but we have one tomorrow. You can come trade to see if you want to do the 7-day trial, because if you don't take that 7-day trial tomorrow, you'll pay new prices. Let's see here. Yep, we talked about the assets. Japan's selling. So how do you deal with a big loss and a confidence knock? You have solid trade planning, and you realize that solid trade planning in the long term pays you more. And then those disciplined losses cut your losses, right? So I'm going to give you a stat from CMT. If you have a disciplined trade plan of 1-to-4 risk reward ratio, you can lose 7 out of 10 trades and still double a portfolio in 82 days. That's a 30% win rate. Why? Disciplined stop losses and trusting your trade plan. Most people, when they take a bad loss, they start changing their trade plan. QBTS got a ticker. Look at that. This is looking ugly too. All the quantum's looking ugly. My stop loss is that red line. I'm probably going to get kicked out of all my quantum plays today, guys. This will be a 300% gain for me on the original trade, but I will have left a metric ton of money on the board, right? Because I was trying to hold this long term. So this was hype selling. No, now it's going to drop and run sideways forever until earnings reports show that fundamentally the company's sound. So I'll take 300% gain. I'll rebuy it when it drops into single digits. Fig is the same thing. Fig looks like shit. We're $10 below IPO price. Can you cut your losses? I wouldn't. I mean, I just hold it long term if you bought it higher. But I've seen companies like this go to zero. All right, guys, I'm going to bounce. If you have any other questions that I didn't answer, get to my free Discord, tag me in it. Copper, real quick, XCU. Next buy zone is 50 to 56, $5.50 to $5.60. Got to bounce. My VIPs are waiting on me. Why don't you be one? Have a good one, guys. Links are in the bio.